For Kings and Queens, what gave you the name?
Well, originally, I do so much. I do ladies' jewelry, I do men's jewelry, men's bracelets, I do cufflinks, I do lapel pins, I do ladies' lapel pins. And so I wanted a name that could incorporate everything instead of having so many Facebook pages. So I put out a plea. I asked on social media what would be a good name to incorporate the business, and this was the name that came in.
Wow, I love it. And see, I love the fact that you incorporated social media because you got everybody involved.
Yes.
And, it's really important to do that nowadays. I find that when you get people involved in what's going on, then they're more apt to continue to be a part of it.
Exactly. And social media is a powerful tool. Once you really learn how to use it for the right reasons, it's a powerful tool.
You said a whole lot right there, didn't you, Ryan?
Yeah.
When you learn how to use it for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's a big if factor too. Big
Right,
if factor.
right.
Tell us, when you say learn how to use it for the right reasons, what exactly do you mean by that for the listeners?
Well, a lot of people get on there and post their business out there. And it's a pet peeve for me to see postings of dead people, see people in the hospital, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like to see the positive in people.
Exactly.
I like to see the positive things, that, I always like to be reminded of what the Lord is doing for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you can use it to network, and it's free, quote unquote, is free.
Right.
I have a Facebook page instead of it's done better than a web page actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, constant updates every minute of the hour.
Right.
I mean, and you're right. I think what's beautiful about social media too, and I'm not a guru like that. I haven't done research on it, but just the little success and momentum that I've seen with it has been, like you said, it's and I don't like to use the word fan. People say I got 2,000 fans or 5,000 fans. I like to call them, supporters, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys are a part of my life,
Right.
And so you see these updates, and I agree. People in the hospital, they showing tubes up there. I want y'all to pray for me. Woe is me. I don't want to see all of that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
either.
But when people feel like they're a part of your life, then they want to feel a part of your purpose too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I love that. So I agree. I think that social media, if it's used right, man, you can gain so much momentum. And
Right.
why not for the kingdom? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and I can personally say social media has been a blessing to me.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes.
I agree totally. Yes, sir.
So now, so you make cufflinks, jewelry, lapel pins, sunglasses, and phone cases.
And belt buckles, I say my slogan is, if I can glue it, I can do it.
I love it. And so,
You can do it, you can do it.
that's right. I love
That's
that.
sweet.
Yeah. How did you get into that?
Well, I was thinking about that on the way over here, and I actually started back in '89 making cufflinks.
Wow.
I started, then I stopped. I moved to North Carolina to work in church administration. I came back and picked it up. And then this year really jumped off. In January, my pastor, and give a shout out to my pastor, Bishop Charles Haywood Ellis III, Greater Grace Temple, the City of David.
Yes, sir.
He spoke a word of
Yeah.
encouragement into my spirit. He's entitled this year the Year of Expectations.
Oh yeah.
And I've been expecting things ever since.
Amen.
Yeah. Shout out to Bishop Ellis.
Big
I
shout
love
out to
Bishop,
him.
and of course Lady Cosette. Now, tell us about. Now, I got to ask you about what you have on today. You have on an incredible lapel pin there, and I know that has to be one of your designs there.
I made it last night. I didn't have anything to match my tie and my shirt.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So so you can make these pieces rather quickly there.
Yes, sir. This one took me about 15, 20 minutes tops.
That's incredible.
I'm trying to figure out just the front. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but that's awesome that you got it down to science, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
I said the Lord's been kind to me. And the thing about my cufflink designs is it's almost like the Lord wakes me up in the middle of the night and give me designs.
Wow.
That's awesome.
The cufflinks you have on too are pretty incredible.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
Immaculate.
Immaculate. And then the bracelet that you're wearing, did you make that as well?
Yes, I did.
Wow, yeah. I like that. So tell us where people can contact you if they would like to purchase.
Well, they can reach me on social media, Royal Accessories for Kings and Queens by Tim, or Timothy Lyles Jackson is my Facebook page. You can reach me there and tag me there, and I'll connect you as a friend and direct you to the page for the cufflinks.
Now, will you also like there's a lot of different showcases and things that are going on. Would you be willing to set up a booth there and sell your products as well?
Where is that?
I'm just asking in general.
Oh, sure. Oh, yes, I do vendor shows all the time. Matter of fact, I'm doing one this weekend for the Church of God in Christ.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Now, you know, a lot of times when people come up, Ryan, and I know
Right.
we hear about this all the time, they don't like to share knowledge.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about maybe teaching the class on some of the things that you do?
I would love to because I'm a YouTube guru.
Yeah.
So I just haven't figured out how to do it on YouTube, but I'd love to teach a class.
Yeah, and maybe
That
do a
would be
tutorial on YouTube. That'd be very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. And I love that part. I love the fact that you said that too, Ryan, about sharing knowledge. You know,
Absolutely.
it's so ironic how we look at the world, and they are very successful in that. I've noticed how easy it is to say, "Oh, come here, let me show you this,"
Right.
and they got it. They share the resources, but sometimes we feel like when we got something.
Not in the church. Not in the church.
Yeah, you know, it's sad. It's unfortunate that way. But
Yeah,
I feel like if I reach nobody showed me how to do it, so I'm not gonna show nobody how to do it.
Right.
Kind of mentality. It's kind of, it's backwards.
It's really interesting. A lot of people come to me and they want to get into radio.
Yeah. Wow.
And they ask me, like, you know, how do I do this? How do I do that? And there's several people that are on the station now who have come to me, you know, and wanted to do radio.
Because but you always have been willing to share.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
Well, because one thing, you have to know who you are.
That's a good
And
point.
that is so important. You have to know who you are and whose you are.
And
when
be
you know
secure in who you are.
and
that
be
makes a
secure
difference
in
too.
who you are.
Wow.
Because guess what? It doesn't matter how many people come on the station. It doesn't matter how many people do radio. Nobody can do radio like me.
Like you. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it's not an arrogant thing. It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not. You're not. You know, boastful. But it's knowing who I am
Yes,
and
sir.
what God has for me is for me.
Right. I
And
just thought
so,
about that song too when you said that.
yeah, and that's why it's so important that we're not stingy in the body of
Yeah,
Christ.
that's good.
You know, even those that do hair or those that do makeup or those that, you know, whatever you do, make accessories. Teach somebody else. Teach somebody what you do,
Wow.
and then push them to be better than what you are. It's like what we do with our
Yeah,
children.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I'm grooming my children to be much better than me.
Oh, that's
I
good.
want them to, I mean, literally just the sky's the limit to what they
Yeah.
can do. And so all the knowledge that I have, whatever I can do to teach them,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do.
That's
And
good.
I don't want them to, you know, I don't want it to get to a point where they get older and I'm still young enough to function where it's like, oh, wow, you're superseding daddy. You know, you're doing better than me. No, I want you to.
That's
Right.
good.
Yeah, and so I think if more of us had that mentality, that the world would just be a lot better.
I mean, well, the Bible says then it works to follow them.
That's right.
That's good.
That's real good.
And I agree with that. I always tell people, man, you know, a legacy is not what you have. It's who's affected by what you have.
That's
Right.
it.
Right.
If you die, you just died a great whoever you are.
Right.
But if you died and you gave what you have to other people,
Mm-hmm.
that's a real legacy because it lives past you.
lives on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say, because I ain't ready to go to glory yet, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But what I'm saying is,
Right,
and I don't think nobody's asking, Lord, take me now. I'm just saying that, you know, in the event that takes place, I remember my brother and I, Pastor Derek Rutley, big shout out to Berea Family Time.
Yes, sir.
Man, my brother and I went to my aunt's house one time, a quick story, and it was a summertime, y'all, and we just went to go to say hi and bye. Now, you know that ain't gonna ever happen at your aunt's house.
Right.
Just say hi and leave.
Right.
So we got there, and she's on her porch. She's sitting there, y'all, and she's just, she's in her auntie mode. So we say hello, we were about to leave. She stops us, and she said, "Where is the richest place on earth?" And we look in, and I'm starting to get carnal. I said, well, maybe Egypt because of the gold, maybe Paris,
Okay,
maybe
right,
Jerusalem.
right.
She said, the richest place on earth is the graveyard. And I said, what?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ain't nothing productive in the graveyard, auntie. As a matter of fact, ain't nothing alive. You can't even work.
Oh, it's the richest place.
Oh, is it the richest? So she looked at me with tears in her eyes, y'all. She said, and I said, why is the richest place on earth the graveyard? And she looked at me and she began to cry. She said, the richest place on earth is the graveyard because do you know how many $1 million inventions went unaccomplished?
Wow.
How many books went unfinished?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
How many songs went unpublished?
Oh, yeah.
She said, make sure, son, when you die, and I want this to reach everybody that's watching, that's listening, when you die, make sure you're empty. Make sure there ain't no more hair to do. Make sure there ain't no more songs to sing.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no more messages to preach. Make sure you are emptied and you have done every cufflink you could think you could possibly do.
Yeah. Right.
And if you're empty now, you got something people can hold on to, and it lives. That's why I love good songs, man, that are not just for the moment, but that live past that fad, that season.
Right, right.
Because if it's timeless music, or if it's a timeless word, if it's a timeless whatever you're doing, whatever your purpose, notice whatever you're doing, if it's hot, that's fine for that season. But what happens when hot is not hot no more? Ain't nobody talking about your song no more. Ain't nobody talking about your show no more. But when you give yourself and when you live in purpose and you know who you are, notice how long you really last.
That's good.
It's folks that's spending way much more money and they got the shoulders that they can rub, and they know people that can get them in places that are high places. The Lord spoke to me, and on my way here, and I'll be honest, and on the weekend, sometimes when I wind down and I'm thinking about business I got to do for the week, and I got, and I'm praying and I'm strategizing for the week and for the month and for the rest of the year, and the Lord stopped me out of nowhere. He said, I can do a whole lot with your little than you can do with your lot.
Right.
I said, you know what? Lord, it's all yours.
It's all yours.
So when you give yourself and you surrender and you're giving and you loving it, and you ain't giving because you're not giving because you want it back. You're giving because you have it to give.
Right.
My pastor, Dr. Mormon from Christian Tabernacle, always says, big shout out. He says, you get to give.
That's right.
To get again, to give again. And that's the cycle. And the more you keep giving, that's why it's more of a blessing to give. I'm not giving because I wanted to come back.
Right.
I'm giving because I have it to give.
That's right.
And because I have it, that's a blessing. It's you can't give. You don't need to be thinking. Are you getting to give? Are you giving to give?
That's good. And speaking of giving, one more time, give us your social media information as well as where people can call you to order cufflinks, jewelry, lapel pins, sunglasses, or belt buckles.
Wow.
Once again, that's Royal Accessories for Kings and Queens by Tim on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page, Timothy Lyles Jackson, and you can reach me directly at 313-704-2675. 313-704-2675. Matter of fact, I will give a free pair of cufflinks to the first caller that calls me.
Well, let me
order.
call.
I got my cell phone right here, man. Hold on one second.
Right.
Right.
I
That's cool.
will sew a pair of cufflinks into your life.
We certainly appreciate that. All right, y'all. We got to take a quick break.
Yes,
You
sir.
have been listening to Ryan